Okay, it's 1:16. I thought we'd go ahead and get started. And Martha and I will watch the waiting room to try to admit people as we can. But I'm going to go ahead and officially get started, and we should be recording now. Did everyone receive a message about that?
Yes.
Great. Good afternoon and welcome to this WIOA Summit 2021 session. My name is Tara Schwab with the Southern Illinois Professional Development Center at SIUE, and I will be the moderator for today's webinar. Today's session topic, Connecting DHS Customers to Career Services, is beginning. As a reminder, we ask that all participants on this session have their audio on mute, and we ask that you do not unmute yourselves unless prompted to participate in a potential engagement activity by the presenter or presenters. If you have questions as the session proceeds, please post your question in the chat and we'll address them during our live Q&A portion of this session. If you feel comfortable, we encourage all participants to go ahead and participate and engage with presenters by having your video turned on, but please note this is being recorded and your video will potentially be on the recorded session. The presentation and corresponding materials are located on the Illinois Workforce Academy website under the 2021 WIOA Summit for your convenience. This session recording will also be located on this same webpage within 2 weeks of the summit. In an effort to be as accessible as possible, this webinar will be offering closed captioning. As a side note, if you'd like to turn it off, you can turn the closed captioning off through your toolbar. We will also be joined by a sign language interpreter today. If you're an attendee that requires the use of the sign language interpreter, please find the interpreter, Michelle Nye, on this session and pin them on your Zoom platform by going to the 3 dots located on their Zoom window image and selecting pin. Please make sure you're in side-by-side full screen gallery view to fully access the interpreter's video. A reminder, if you have a faulty internet connection or would prefer to call in, you can do so by calling into this webinar by using the phone number posted in the chat. With that, we will get started with our presenters.
Thank you, Tara. If you would flip to the next slide. Our information about our panel is listed here. My name is Eva Locke. I am the one-stop operations lead for Lake County for the Job Center of Lake County. I specifically work for Lake County Workforce Development. The Job Center of Lake County is operated by a consortium consisting of the College of Lake County, IDES, and Workforce Development. And then we have a total of 14 MOU partners, and you'll be hearing about one of our partners, DHS, extensively during this presentation. And that takes me right to Samantha.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Samantha Ketterhagen. I work at the Department of Human Services. I am temporarily assigned to manage over the work and training team with the department. Our team services the SNAP medical and TANF program, which is temporary assistance for needy families, and that is the cash program.
Hey, good afternoon, folks. My name is Elliot Esparza, and I am the Technical Education Manager for National ABLE Network. Specifically, I manage the recruitment for the IT Career Lab school, which is a division of National ABLE and helps people to enter the IT industry.
And hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Donna Claxton, and I'm the program manager. I'm working with Elliot, and I'm part of National ABLE's IT Career Lab.
Great. During this presentation, we're going to review ways to draw DHS customers into the one-stop programs and services. And specifically, you will learn how Snap to Success, which is run by IT Career Lab, that's Elliot and Donna's area, has been implemented in Lake County. And you're going to hear a number of success stories today. If you have questions as we're speaking, we invite you to type those in the chat box and we'll make sure that we address them at the end of the presentation. On the next slide, you're going to see some of our favorite acronyms. We thought, just in case there's anyone here who's fairly new to the one-stop system, we didn't want to be throwing around these acronyms without you knowing what they were. So we'll be talking a lot about, when I reference workforce development, I'll be talking about my organization, Lake County Workforce Development. We administer WIOA Title I within LWIA 1. And we want to remind you that we're number one. We always will be because we were designated as such. And then of course, DHS Department of Human Services, 2 programs that DHS administers include TANF, Temporary Assistance for Needy Families, and SNAP, Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program, but our members of the public still call that food stamps. In our area, this specific DHS office is called the FCRC, the Family Community Resource Center. And we're going to be talking a lot about IT. So just in case you haven't gotten the memo on this, that's information technology. Now on the next slide, I have some information about our county specifically, and you'll see on the map there in the corner that we are located in the far northeast corner of Illinois. In fact, from the Job Center, if I step out at the back of the Job Center, I can see glimpses of Lake Michigan through the trees. In fact, we're about a half an hour drive from Wisconsin, the Wisconsin border, although some of my coworkers can get there in 15 minutes because they drive pretty quickly. Our population is about 700,000 plus. We like to, when talking with companies, let them know that we have a highly educated workforce. We have more individuals in Lake County with a college degree or a post-secondary degree than in equivalent counties in Illinois. We've become increasingly international, and you will see a diverse workforce in Lake County. Our unemployment rate is similar to those in other counties within Illinois as of February 2021. We had in February also, there were approximately 620 individuals receiving TANF benefits. We don't have the specific number of those receiving SNAP benefits in Lake County, but we know that there are over 2 million individuals receiving SNAP benefits in Illinois. Our top industry in Lake County is biopharmaceuticals. Some of the companies that you may have heard of in our county include Abbott, AbbVie, Horizon, Medline, Nipro, just to name a few. Because of that, there is a high demand for IT professionals. And our economic modeling system said this about IT professionals in our county. There is aggressive hiring competition over a thin supply of regional talent. So as we move along in the presentation, you will hear about how IT Career Lab is helping to contribute to more IT professionals within the county. On the next slide, I'm going to explain this story a little bit, and then we're going to pull up the YouTube video for it. Patrick is a young man who described himself as homeless at one time. He walked into the FCRC, the DHS office, to apply for food stamps, but there was a table set up with information about IT Career Lab and the Job Center. He learned about what training was available to him, began that training, and became Cisco certified. He then, Workforce Development under WIOA was able to fund him for a 6-month internship, and that segued into a permanent job as a network analyst. Right, now you can listen to him talk about his story. Tara, we're not getting the sound on it.
start of 2018, it basically had a perfect storm of events happen and really made me down and out. I didn't really have housing, and I was homeless for a short time. And I came across the IT Career Lab program while in line for food stamps, of all things. I was currently mostly making pizzas at a Domino's, and doing that while homeless was pretty difficult, to say the least. We were studying for it the whole time, and I missed the first time by about 16 points. Studied real hard and got to retake it a day before my birthday. And I finally passed it and got certified, and that was absolutely amazing. About the best present I could have wished for. Felicia found the opportunity for me. I met with her at the DHS facility in Waukegan, and we talked over it, got me into an interview with Julie Hagel, who was over at the health department, and they got me into my initial internship on a 6-month contract, and it was absolutely amazing. I loved working with the health department and was ecstatic to finally get in the industry and get back on my feet. I found that I absolutely love the work. It's been, not only was I down and out, but I basically found my passion along the way, and getting to solve problems and put my knowledge to use, it's actually enjoyable a good portion of the time. Sometimes it doesn't even feel like work, and I'm just so glad to be in it. Finally found what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Thank you, Tara. So now we're going to tell the story of how Patrick's story came to be and how other people have been connected to employment through the partnerships between these organizations. And I'm going to pass this over to Samantha now.
Hi, good afternoon. Again, I'm Samantha Ketterhagen with the Department of Human Services. Pre-pandemic, DHS and the Job Center. Lake County DHS is located in the city of Waukegan, which is right near the Job Center. In 2016, DHS and other community partners met in an attempt to increase collaboration. The goal was to help the TANF clients with barriers preventing them from becoming successful, either educationally, financially, or even emotionally, allowing them to be more confident at having an understanding of managing their home, life, and family with work life. This was successful with 2 outcomes. One being the DHS staff would visit the Job Center once a week in order to utilize their facility and meet with the DHS clients. We would assist our clients with their various needs, such as resume writing, job searching, interviewing skills, etc. We would introduce them to other resources in the community and at the Job Center. Some of the programs we would introduce them to our clients with the Job Center were SNAP to Success and the WIOA program. The Job Center would host a wildly important event with the DHS staff and their TANF clients every other month. Go to the next slide, please. Thank you. During the event, the TANF clients could meet with different employers set up in the resource room. These employers would do an on-the-spot interviewing and or even recruiting for positions in their company. There would be a keynote speaker each time at the event discussing various topics that may be a common barrier to some of our TANF clients. For example, some topics in the past were financial literacy, employment tips, motivation, interview tips, etc. Afterwards, the TANF clients would attend an informational session with the WIOA and have an opportunity to register in the WIOA training or work experience that interests each individual. The remaining time of the event would be the DHS staff and the TANF client. At that time, we can answer any questions of the day, help again with any resume writing, discuss other barriers, and obtain suggestions for the next event. The second outcome for that was sorry, excuse me. The second outcome is the DHS office would host a once a month collaboration meeting. Can you go to the next slide? I'm sorry. Thank you. We would host a meeting with the community partners in order to personally assist in the needs of specific clients. We would all brainstorm and plan an action for the needs of that TANF client. In order for the TANF clients to be able to attend any of these informational meetings or receive help at the Job Center, the DHS work and training caseworkers would offer supportive services to these clients. Also, the Job Center would come to the DHS office and set up a table in the lobby. The staff member from the Job Center would be able to answer any questions about the Job Center and inform all of the services that they can provide. And Eva, back to you on the Job Center stuff.
Sure. On the next slide, I'm going to talk about what we're doing now because we're now in this pandemic environment. Before I do that, I failed to mention during Patrick's little video clip, he references Felicia helping him. And I wanted to call out my coworker, Felicia Nixon Gregory, who I believe is in the meeting today. She was one of the staff members, workforce staff members, who was initially part of this collaboration effort and worked a lot with the DHS customers, and Patrick still remembers her. So I wanted to say hi to Felicia. So what are we doing now? We have just held a meeting, 3 online meetings, love Zoom now. And so 9 staff members from the DHS office met with consortium members and select other organizations 3 times to talk about where are we now, what are our customers' needs. We talked about training and education, and we talked about employment and work-based learning opportunities, and just how our organizations are functioning in a pandemic environment. From those meetings, we brainstormed 2 events that we can offer. One event will be for DHS customers, and the need that was expressed by the staff members with DHS is, you know, these customers, they really need like pre-employment activities. They're not quite ready for jumping into interviewing and resume writing, and let's do something to encourage them. So we will be holding a motivational workshop next month. We're inviting all of the TANF customers to that event. And we'll have 3 inspirational speakers, including Felicia, I mentioned her, speaking at that event. We will also have DHS customers on our public Job Center schedule who will be presenting information about how to apply for public assistance. At this point, I want to pass over to Elliot and IT Career Lab.
Hey, thanks, Eva. So what is IT Career Lab? We are a WIOA as well as VA, Illinois Board of Higher Education school that helps individuals to reach their career dreams within IT. You know, something that makes us special is that unlike a boot camp training or college level credit course, we provide a lot of training to help folks get certifications for products that businesses utilize, which include Cisco and Microsoft certifications. We are also a Department of Labor registered apprenticeship. And I want to say one of the first IT apprenticeship programs in the state of Illinois, if not the first one. IT is a vocation just like plumbing or carpentry. You don't need a college degree to get in. And I think where to get in is what a lot of schools and what a lot of people get confused about. You know, I see a lot of folks without experience that get like IT cybersecurity certifications. And it's pretty difficult to get a cybersecurity job at a company if you don't have any experience in IT. So we don't take that route or try to get folks into programming jobs. We help folks to get into a company's help desk, desktop support positions. These are essentially customer service jobs with an IT slant. And that's the IT slant is where we come in and help individuals to get certified to fix the internet and fix computer systems. And we do it through a structured, goal-driven program that lasts 16 weeks. And I'll let my associate, Donna, explain how our program works. And just so that you know, there's 3 really important people at the IT Career Lab in terms of our staff. I'm on the front end, and we like to say, I help people to get into the school. My associate, Donna, helps people to stay in school, right? And make sure that they're getting certified and their schedules, going well and stuff. And then we have another associate who's not on the call today, who helps people to get out of the school, which means helps them to get a job. So on the back end of our services are a lot of job placement assistance that I'll let Donna kind of talk about a little bit.
Okay, perfect. Next slide, please. Thank you. Okay, thanks, Elliot. Our program structure, we are set up, we have 4 training locations throughout the Chicagoland area, including with our partners there in Lake County. And we actually are also in Minnesota in that area as well. Our training is conducted in a small group setting for over 16-week time period. Meet 3 days a week for 18 hours with a certified instructor. Course curriculum and certification exams are included in the overall class structure as well. And all of our participants, in order for them to be in IT, we felt it was necessary for them to receive a laptop computer for their use in training. And if they complete our program, they get to retain that laptop upon completion of the training. We have on-site certification testing. We're Pearson VUE Testing Center here. And additionally, as part of our training, as Elliot mentioned, not only do we advise people to help them to get certified and get the Cisco Microsoft certifications, but we also include, as part of their training, job readiness training and placement assistance, as Elliot talked about, from our job developers who are on staff with us. Next slide. So the program structure we talked about previously, we had to change it up a little bit because of the pandemic. We were offering instructor live training where instructors in front of the class, 15, 16 people in class. So, but due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we moved all of our classes to online remote training. We switched up the smaller class sizes just a little bit, 10 or less, to mitigate time spent online. Have to make sure that you must have a stable internet connection in terms of that because you're online. And this also helped us to encourage more collaboration and communication among the classmates, the students in the class and their instructor during class and outside of class. We had students who, while they're online and they're learning about the various certifications that they'll be going for, they were also introduced to Zoom and to Google Hangout, Google Meet, where they could talk and collaborate and meet outside of class as well. In addition to all the certification exams that we offer through the program, they also had to be nimble because of the pandemic. And either now they can be taken at an open testing center, or a lot of the exams are also being offered remotely as well.
So just an overview of the demographics for our student population, 76% male, 24% female. There is a stereotype out there that IT is, male industry, and we're working against that day in and day out. But, 24% of our clients are female, and it's growing. From a, racial standpoint, 20% Latino, 20% white, 7% other, 54% Black, African American, 53%, excuse me. So IT Career Lab has this solid training that's helping individuals with no technical background get into IT as a help desk professional. We had this going on in Chicago, downtown Chicago, where we're based out of. We were able to start utilizing the Snap to Success grant. We were actually an administrator for the grant, and it allowed us to get our services into different areas that we hadn't ever been in. And so what is Snap to Success? It's a non-ITA funded training program that's actually comes through a matched grant with the Department of Human Services, Illinois. Clients must have an active SNAP case and not be on TANF in order to qualify for funding. Clients must pass, in terms of our screening method, we utilize a tool called the North Star Digital Literacy Assessment. So we made sure that clients could get around a computer because they couldn't take the class unless they were able to save files and organize files and do stuff like that. And so we have an assessment that gauges their ability. And then what did Snap to Success do for us on a larger scale? It made our partnership with the Lake County Workforce Board sustainable. I mean, essentially what this grant is extra training funding that does not use WIOA formula dollars. So for clients that had used an ITA in the past, they could utilize Snap to Success if they needed more training or different certifications. For clients, maybe if they signed up for WIOA and 1A funding had been cut off, you know, and instead of having to wait months and months for that funding to come back on, they were able to go through this additional funding stream that we introduced into the workforce areas. So it made us, instead of us just being another school referring folks into the local workforce to get an ITA, we were actually assisting the local workforce with an additional training funding, which was really important to them. And this program fills a service gap for low-income individuals from historically underserved communities. There's a skills gap in certain populations, and we were able to impact that, in a small way, but still in a substantial way, as you saw with Patrick's story. We go by the motto, and I thought it was important to put this in this presentation, which is that talent is equally distributed. Opportunities are not. Without the Snap to Success program, Patrick would still be in the wrong spot in his career. Someone like Patrick who has all this potential and ability was in the food service industry, not a bad gig, but he really sees his passion in IT, and we were really honored to help him get there. If you could, next slide, please. So we partnered with Lake County Workforce in January of 2018, to offer the first Snap to Success program in Illinois. We chose to partner with Lake County because, as Eva had mentioned previously, the business environment is ideal. You have a lot of corporate headquarters in Lake County, and Eva mentioned a few: Medline, Abbott, Baxter, CDW. A lot of our existing employer partners were actually in Lake County, which was nice. And whenever you have, for all you job developers in the audience, I'm sure you're aware of this, whenever you have a corporate headquarters where they are essentially housing their C-level executives, typically at that corporate headquarters, like let's say at Walgreens in Deerfield, which is another Lake County corporate headquarters, you have your, big muckety mucks that are, making the big decisions. But then at that headquarters, they house their IT support staff. And that's a trend throughout corporate America, is you will have, the IT team supporting, every Walgreens location around the world, and doing so from Deerfield. So it's a tremendous opportunity from a job development standpoint to be training people in IT who happen to live in an area where there's all these corporate headquarters like Lake County. In addition, Lake County has enormous need. There are areas where that population skills gap exists. There are folks in certain areas that have a generational dependence on social services and welfare and stuff like that. So not only were the job opportunities there, but the need was there. And then I guess most importantly is the local service provider network was organized and already working together. And that's not necessarily the case throughout every county in Illinois, where you have as much collaboration between DHS and WIOA and IDES, as Lake County did. So we had a great kind of product, if you will, in downtown Chicago, and we were able to easily get plugged into the local service provider network because the infrastructure was already there, as Eva and Samantha had gone through. Next slide, please. So how did that partnership assist us as we entered Lake County for the first time? Recruitment assistance. And I'm on the front end doing a lot of the recruitment, but my information sessions would be empty if it wasn't for the help I received from folks like Felicia and Eva and some of the associates at Department of Human Services who were getting the word out. They were marketing the program, and then they were giving me space to do presentations on the program, screen clients, and Patrick had mentioned meeting someone at the DHS office where he was standing in line to ask a question about his SNAP benefits. He met with someone from our team that was able to sit there that morning and meet with interested individuals. So that's indispensable to an inaugural program such as this. In addition, the SNAP to Success program, I don't want to get too much into the details of it, but it is extremely quick in terms of helping someone to get into the training. It doesn't have as many steps as WIOA, but one of the most important steps to ensure there were no disallowed costs was validating SNAP benefits. And so we had the DHS office that was there at the ready to help validate SNAP benefits for clients. I did find some clients who were not on SNAP, who I thought may be eligible for SNAP. And then I was able to help them get referred to DHS to establish their eligibility right away. Lake County Workforce co-enrolled clients. And that was essential for some of the supportive services that a client like Patrick in the video could get from the WIOA side of things, up to and including his internship, the OJT experience that was set up, which, his story is such a clear example of how this partnership works, from standing in line at the FCRC, able to learn about this program from someone at IT Career Lab, and then going on an internship after the training through Lake County Workforce. That was essential to so many client success stories. But for me personally, when I just kind of showed up with a briefcase to Waukegan and needed to meet individuals who might have an interest in this program, it was really helpful to have somebody who was in the neighborhood and knew who the movers and shakers were. We needed space to offer training. Someone right away said, hey, there's a spot next door that is open for rent. I went and talked to them. Boom, we had a space for training. Then when our clients started the training, they needed parking. My associate Felicia, who was so crucial to all of this, said, hey, you should talk to Waukegan Police Department about the clients you're serving. And I went over there and talked to their contact there, and boom, we had free student parking. So it was really important to have that partnership. This is a comparison of the outcomes for our SNAP to Success clients versus our non-SNAP clients, which, I think is worth taking a look at. So, broken down by average earnings, unsubsidized IT employment, who gained certification, who completed. The results and outcomes, they weren't that far off from a non-SNAP student. Once again, talent is equally distributed amongst our population. Opportunities are not. And it was such a privilege to offer this opportunity to folks that may not have ever had this opportunity or may not have ever learned about this opportunity. So I'll give you a second to take a look at those numbers. Great. Next slide. I'll turn it over to Donna. She wants to talk about some program wins we had.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Elliot. Just to kind of go back to the partnership, and I know we're going to talk about the quick wins as well as far as the program is concerned, but I also kind of want to expand upon the partnership that we have with Lake County and the Department of Human Services, because one of the items that we have in terms of get to these program wins is the constant communication between all the entities regarding once people, are recruited by, Elliot and folks on our team, working with, folks like Felicia and everyone in the Department of Human Services as well. We're in constant communication regarding the participants' attendance and their participation in class. And also kind of working with the students, helping to mitigate any obstacles that they might face that might impact their training or might impact their employability going forward. So I think then it's important to mention that piece of it as well, because that's how we get to the program wins in terms of our program itself. And so we offer our program to clients who are interested in an IT career, but we've seen much more than just them, getting through the program, getting certified. And from my standpoint, I see a lot once they're in the program, attending and completing a class like this is not an easy task. But it's really helped many clients realize the potential and help them adapt better to that change, that they can see a future and a position in IT or a role in IT, but at least accomplishing something, in that respect. So some folks, we deal with adult learners from all ages and all from all walks of life, but we really help to see them accomplish something. It also increased their confidence and their skills and really made optimistic, like I said, for the future in terms of that. You saw Patrick's story, and we'll talk about some other success stories as well, but seeing individuals who were very timid about getting into a program like this, weren't sure of themselves, and seeing them blossom and go into an IT career and actually are, better prepared for things that might happen later on in life and past, but they're better prepared for that. And then also we provide continued support regarding their skills when people are doubting themselves and their job search. And also I talked about the barrier management piece as well, whether it's financial, whether it's family responsibilities, but it's also about setting timelines in that respect and really helping folks to celebrate their accomplishments, to celebrate that the fact they've gone through the program, celebrate the fact that they've earned certifications and then gotten back into the workforce. Next slide.
So these are just a few candidate profiles from the few years that we've offered Snap to Success training in Lake County. Christina K was in one of our first classes. She was a laid off professional. She was a hairdresser at a salon. She was a single mom living with her parents. And I'll never forget talking to her about the IT Career Lab program. And she said, Elliot, I've never considered a career in IT, but I have no job prospects right now. I'm a single mom. And there's a reason why you're here in front of me talking about this at this time of my life. And I'm going to see this through, And so the first thing that we did was help her to get childcare so that she could take the course. And we were able to do that through the YWCA, which was a great partner in helping some of our clients get childcare. She went through the program. It was a lot of work for her. She had no technical background, but she got certified and started working at a company called CrossCom as a help desk associate. The second person, Tyler G, he's from a town called Antioch, Illinois. When I met him, he was a part-time pizza delivery driver in his mid-20s. He completed the program and we helped him to get a job as a help desk technician for a grocery chain called Woodland Foods. I looked at his profile recently on LinkedIn, and in IT, you can move up the ladder very quickly, and he has. He's had 2 different positions, and right now he's an analyst for their database. And I was just so proud of him when I saw the increased responsibility that he's taken on at the company that we helped him to get a job for. Donna, did you want to talk about Todd?
Sure. Todd was one of our last classes, and actually he was in the class. It was kind of a challenge because they started off with the instructor in person and then quickly had to move to remote. But Todd was able to finish the program, and just from talking with him, Todd was a part-time tech trainer at library. He talked about, wanting to be a provider for his family, husband and father. And so he was looking for solid employment to help support his family. He did complete the program, earned all the program certifications. And when he was done, he had a couple of job offers, but he decided on working for the Round Lake School District as an IT technician. So really, hearing these stories and from Christina, from Tyler, and from Todd kind of gives you a range of where people are, from people who have no IT background to people who have a little bit, but all of them worked extremely hard in getting certified and finishing the program. And now they're off and doing great things.
I can find the unmute button there. So here's our contact information. Feel free to reach out to us. You can see details also on both the Job Center website and the IT Career Lab website. And we are opening up to questions. We're watching the chat feature, but you can also unmute at this point and ask any questions that you may have.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yes, my name is John Mitchell. I actually work at a FCRC in Cook County. So I was wondering, you guys were talking about how to link DHS customers, which is why I got on here. How is this working in other counties? Because I haven't really seen a lot of it at my office, and I would love to see some of these things come to my office.
So the Snap to Success program, even though we started in Lake County as kind of a pilot, has at this point been extended to all residents of Illinois who are collecting SNAP benefits, including Cook County residents. So John, I appreciate you asking about how we can help clients, at least from a Snap to Success angle. If you're working with a client who is interested in IT training and a career in IT, feel free to refer them to myself. And if they're on SNAP benefits and not collecting TANF benefits, we could help them to get this training at no cost to them, so long as they go through a few steps. Cook County is huge, and so we may not be in contact with your direct manager at your office, but we do accept referrals of SNAP candidates regardless of where they live. They just have to be in Illinois.
And to your point, John, in regard to, I guess, integration, which is really the theme of this entire summit, we are seeing regional efforts. I'm involved in a regional one-stop team where we're sharing best practices and ideas about full integration. So hopefully some of these ideas will come to your area, but feel free to reach out too if you would like us to share anything with you.
Hello, this is Sherry. I'm with the Division of Rehab Services. And what my question is, well, I have two questions actually. The first one is, have you ever run out of money? You have more people that want to be in these programs than you have money to put into the programs.
Great point. We're out of money right now.
Oh, you are? Okay.
But it's going to be, so our fiscal year ends June 30th, as I'm sure everyone knows. But July 1st, we will probably get another 50 or 60 slots for the Snap to Success program. Wish there were more, but funding is limited for a program like this. But know that on July 1st, Snap to Success funding for IT Career Lab will be back on. So yeah, the funding, even for a program like this is certainly not limitless. And there's a lot of demand for something like this. So July 1st is the best time to refer folks.
Okay, thank you. And here's my second question. I know in a lot of places, when I worked in Quincy with the Division of Rehab Services, the FCRC office was just above us. And they sort of had a general policy where many times they would refer customers to us. But I'm especially thinking about this situation. Not everyone that you work with has a disability and would qualify for DRS services. But I'm going to guess there's probably a subset of customers that would be eligible for our services. And if people are referring them to our agency, then maybe we could somehow work with you on this program. Maybe our funds could help pay, or maybe if not your exact program, maybe we could put them into community college training. I'm not sure, but that's the second part of my question. I see Eva smiling, so she's got an answer. I'm thinking.
I agree. I totally agree with what you're saying. And that's where the partnerships are so key, because if one organization is low on funds, case in point here, if Snap to Success doesn't have funds at the moment, well, WIOA does. So we can fund individuals to go to IT Career Lab. They don't necessarily even care what grant is funding them, just that they're getting the services.
Great. And like I said, if there's ever any customers that you all, do come into contact with, I'm sure you refer them to DRS, but obviously we can have shared cases and we want to work with all of you. It sounds like a great program. So thanks for sharing.
Thank you, Sherry. And absolutely, I think Donna and I absolutely agree with you that we have clients that have a number of barriers, including some with disabilities, people with disabilities. So please reach out to myself and let's connect.
Hi, Elliot. This is Marilyn Lewanda from the Honors Group Office. It's also the DRS. I will connect with you because I'm really interested for our customers who has the disability, because this is a very great program the way it's being presented, and it's really nice. I'm excited about it for our customer. Thank you.
Thanks, Marilyn. And I will say that when things start to normalize, which is any day now, right? We do plan on heading back into the classroom, and one of our locations, we have a location downtown Chicago, which I just posted the address for, but we have another location in Lisle, Illinois, which from my vantage point isn't too far from Downers Grove. So maybe a great partnership that we could set up, Marilyn. I appreciate that.
Oh, yes. Thank you. That's a great idea.
We have one more question in the chat here. How successful have you been with working with older job seekers over 55, and any suggestions you can offer with best practices?
CSAP. We have one of our partners is Senior Community Service Employment Program, which in our LWIA is also administered by National ABLE and is specifically for individuals age 55 plus. So that is one area where we see successes. But then again, regardless of age, individuals can participate in training, either WIOA training or Snap to Success, you name it. Age is not necessarily a barrier.
Certainly not. And the reason why I like IT and helping people get jobs in IT is because the need is so great that it's impossible for businesses. I guess it's not impossible, but it's harder for businesses to discriminate based on age and based on things, because they just need somebody who can make sure their internet's up and running, make sure the computers are running fast. That's more important than fostering some kind of old boys network. And so we've helped people in their mid 60s. Donna, you might even know some folks that were older that we've helped start careers in IT after our training. And there are definitely opportunities. In IT, it's less about who you know and it's more about what you know. And I'm really confident in our program's ability to train individuals and make sure they know what they need to know to get that next job. And so, you know, a lot of folks wonder, oh, who's going to hire somebody in their 50s or 60s in IT? That happens all the time. We see that happen all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, from an individual standpoint, because you have folks who are seasoned in terms of that, but they have that professionalism and they have that job experience that they can bring to any career. And it's just a matter of them, you know, deciding they want to go into IT and get certified. And so we assist anyone, as Elliot said. So.
And did you see the next question for downstate clients? Will you continue online training once you start returning to the classroom? And I'm going to stop sharing for conversation.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we're not sure as to when we'll go back into the classroom. We still have to be in the Chicagoland area. And it's really through our approval through the Illinois Board of Higher Education, while they've kind of given, you know, programs like ours kind of a grace period because our program is, you know, slated to be in person. So we're not sure, you know, just in terms of determining whether we'll continue or not. So we're having conversations now as we begin to open up, you know, a little bit, but right now we're all remote. So that is something definitely to consider. Any more questions?
I believe we're at time, aren't we?
Almost. One more question real quick. How do I arrange a relationship with my local job center?
So John, if you're in Cook County, there's American Job Centers all over the place. And I guess the best way to go check it out which offices are in your area would probably be to go to illinoisworknet.com or to contact me, and I can give you a big list of offices. But you know, from Park Forest, or I shouldn't say Park Forest, from Harvey, Illinois, all the way to Evanston, and all as far west as Arlington Heights and Hanover Park and Elgin in Cook County, there are American Job Centers just everywhere. There's probably one down the street from you didn't even know was there. So check out illinoisworknet.com. They should have a list of all the offices that you can reach out to, or reach out to one of us here, and we'd be happy to help.
Another resource for American Job Center locator would be www.careeronestop.org, and you can search by your zip code. Again, that's www.careeronestop.org. I have posted it in the chat.
Thanks, Alicia.
Thank you. Any other questions? Well, thank you so much to the presenters. What a great opportunity to hear from all of you and such wonderful information. Thank you again for being here and allowing us all to learn from you today. And to all our attendees, thank you for attending today's WIOA Summit session, and we look forward to seeing you at our next session. Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Good info. Thank you.
Thank you.